Do you work hard in the gym day after day, week after week, and month after month, but still look the same? Likely it's because you are not implementing 3 key strategies in order to grow your muscles. On today's 10WT Tips episode, I'm going to dive into 3 reasons why your training isn't changing the way that you look, and how to build muscle slowly but surely over time. You're listening to the Best You Podcast, home to the 10-week transformation where we help you lose fat, build muscle, and gain confidence. My name is Nick Carrier, and I've done personal training and group fitness since 2016 and have coached 512 people to transform their body in our 10-week transformation program. My mission is to help you become the healthiest, most confident version of yourself so you can get closer to your best you. If you're ready to figure out what you're doing wrong with your training regimen and what you can do to build more muscle, then stick around and let's do this thing. Have you ever felt like you needed a kickstart to build some momentum and motivation? It's easy to fall out of a good routine when life is throwing so many things your way. If that's you, I've developed something that you're going to love. It's our 1-week free trial of the virtual 10-week transformation. I'm going to give you access to 3 workouts, my goal-setting framework, and my 5x5 meal plan. It'll provide you with the tactics and the mindset to give you that kickstart of motivation that you need. In order to check it out, just go to nickcarrier.com /free trial or click the link below in the show notes. Again, it's nickcarrier.com /free trial or click the link below in the show notes. Welcome to another episode of 10WT Tips, where each week we'll talk about fitness, nutrition, personal development, or goal setting so you know exactly how to lose fat, build muscle, and gain confidence. Today, we're going to talk to the person who is exercising with no results. You go to the gym consistently enough to where you feel like, surely I'm going to be getting stronger. Surely I'm going to be losing fat. Surely I should be building muscle. But like over and over and over again, you just continue to look in the mirror and see the same thing. If you ever feel like your efforts are going to waste, this podcast is for you. This is one of the hardest things about exercise and about health and fitness is oftentimes when we get to a certain place in our health and fitness journey, we hit a plateau and we just continue to look the same. And we just continue to look the same. And we continue to do the same things, and we think we need to go harder. We think we need to eat less, or we think we need to, I don't know what I need to do. And we get really frustrated because we're hitting that plateau. And so today is all about 3 things that you can do in order to ensure that you grow muscle. And so again, today is very specific on muscle hypertrophy, which is increasing the size of your muscle tissue. Doing these things will get you a little bit stronger. They'll help you improve your endurance a little bit, but those are different adaptations. Today is about building muscle and muscle hypertrophy, how to optimize for training like that, so that when you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, look at that muscle right there. And you can be proud of the visible progress that you're now making. So if you are continually going in day after day, week after week, month after month, and feel like your efforts are going to waste, today's episode is for you. Now, there's a difference between exercising and training. Exercising is going in, putting in the work, getting a good sweat, getting your heart rate up, and feeling like you accomplished something. Training is thoughtful. It's purposeful. It's mindful. It's I'm doing this because I want that. And so in order to really see progress, it's important to train rather than exercise. I don't think that exercising is wrong. I just think that if you're exercising, you have to know that you can only expect so much progress, or you can only expect to really stay the same. And some of us have seasons of our life where it's fine to stay the same. It's fine to not improve our performance. It's fine to look this way that we currently look. But if you're looking to improve the way that you look, improve your performance, and grow your muscles, then today's episode is for you. It's all about training in order to see muscle hypertrophy. So, problem number 1 is that you're not going close enough to failure when you're training. So you're doing a set of an exercise, and when you finish it, you're pretty tired, but you had a lot more reps left in the tank than you gave yourself. And so the solution to this is you want to, within your set, do the number of reps that leaves you anywhere between 1 and 3 reps to failure. So you want to leave 1 to 3 reps in reserve. So for example, if I'm grabbing a weight, let's say I'm doing 25-pound dumbbells and I'm doing bicep curls. If I could do 15 bicep curls with those 25s, but that 15 would be the absolute last rep that I could do, and it really struggled and it really took me a long time, Then during my working sets, during my difficult sets, I want to do anywhere between 12 and 14 reps, meaning that 12th rep or that 13th rep or that 14th rep is pretty darn difficult, but I have a little bit of room left in the tank as well. What happens is a lot of people is they grab a weight where they do a set of 12 to 15 reps, but they really could have gone anywhere between 20 and 25 reps because the weight was such that it wasn't all that heavy. And so they were burning a little bit by that 12 to 15 amount, but they still had a lot more reps left in the tank. If you're leaving too many reps left in the tank, you're not providing the stimulus of your muscles that tell it it needs to grow, that tell it needs to adapt. And so the first problem is that you're not going close to failure. The solution to that is you need to get within 1 to 3 reps of failure on your working sets of a particular exercise of the muscle group that you're looking to grow. Number 2, another problem is that your rep counts are all over the place. Generally speaking, you can build muscle with rep counts anywhere between 5 and 30 reps. And so there is a lot of variability for where you can land with your rep counts. However, most of the time when people are training and they have a high variability in their rep counts, it's not necessarily super intentionally and super thought out. It's very randomized. And so what I would recommend, the solution to this is look to fall within 6 to 15 reps on your working sets. If you go much more than 15, you often get fatigued, we often get sloppy, and we're not getting close enough to failure. If we go less than 6, then we're training a little bit more optimized for strength. And if you're looking to lift heavier, then take a look at last week's 10WT tips episode where I give you 3 strategies on how to get stronger. But today is about building muscle and how to optimize for that. So if you can have reps in between 6 and 15, and the caveat is you have to follow solution number 1 as well, where you're 1 to 3 reps close to failure in that rep range of 6 to 15, then that's really critical as well. So stop going all over the place with your rep count unintentionally. Land somewhere within 6 to 15, abiding by the rule of 1 to 3 reps close to failure. And the third problem is that every time that you work out, you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again. You're using the same weights, the same rest time, the same exercise, the same types of reps, and everything like that. But the solution to this is to apply what's called progressive overload. And essentially what progressive overload means is simply that you make it harder on yourself than you did the previous time. Now, the degree to which you can make it harder on yourself from one workout to the next is not much. But from 1 week to 2 weeks later, you can make things harder on yourself. From 1 week to a month down the road, of course you need to be making it a little bit harder on yourself. Now, what does it look like to apply progressive overload? Again, that just means making it harder each time that you go in. Now, there are a few different variables that you can adjust in order to apply progressive overload. You can do more weight. So if you're trying to grow your biceps, let's just keep that as the example, and you do 25-pound dumbbells for 10 reps. Maybe a couple weeks down the road, you look to go 30-pound dumbbells for 10 reps, or for 8 reps, you increase the weight. Or you could go more reps with the same weight. So if you did 25-pound dumbbells for 10 reps, a couple weeks down the road, you see if you can go 25-pound dumbbells for 11 reps or 12 reps. You can also change up the rest time a little bit. Maybe you can give yourself more rest time so you can go heavier, or you can go a little bit less rest time to provide more of that kind of endurance type stimulus as well. You can also change up the type of reps that you do. Oftentimes people just stick with standard reps of 10 or 12, but you can do things like drop sets. You can do things like cluster sets. That's a whole topic for a different episode, but you can also type in drop sets or cluster sets into Google and look up all different types of variability with training styles and rep count styles. Last thing that you can change is the time under tension. And so if you're doing 10 reps of a bicep curl, let's say, and you're using a pretty standard tempo of maybe 1 count up on the curl and 2 counts down, then you can think about going a little bit slower and training eccentrically, meaning a 1 count up and then maybe 1, 2, 3 counts on the way down. If you change the time under tension, it will change the stimulus that it provides to your muscle, potentially allowing it the ability to grow. So again, today's episode is all about if you are just going into the gym day after day, week after week, month after month, and you continue to look the same. I get it. It's a hard thing to be super intentional with your training and not just exercise. But if you do these three things, I promise you, you'll continue to see progress. Number 1, make sure that you're going close enough to failure. You're going within that 1 to 3 reps of failure. Number 2, those 1 to 3 reps of failure are falling within 6 to 15 reps. And then number 3, you're ensuring that from 1 month to the next, or 1 week to 2 weeks down the road, you're not just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. You're applying progressive overload by manipulating one of those training variables intentionally, thoughtfully, and purposefully. Now, if you need a kickstart to build some momentum and motivation, then try out our 1-week free trial of the virtual 10-week transformation. I'm going to give you access to 3 workouts, my goal setting framework, and my 5x5 meal plan. That'll provide you with the tactics that you need, both fitness-wise and nutrition-wise, and it'll provide you with the mindset that you need to kickstart your motivation and get you going. In order to check it out, go to nickcarrier.com/free trial or click the link below in the show notes. Again, that's nickcarrier.com/free trial or click the link below in the show notes. Remember, to build muscle, go closer to failure, stay within 6 to 15 reps, and apply progressive overload by making things just a little bit harder every now and then, because if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. I hope this episode helps you to build muscle so that you can become the healthiest, most confident version of yourself and get closer and closer to your best you.